For example, a cell in your stomach lining might be making and releasing enzyme molecules that acid in digesting food you eat. During interphase, the cell roughly doubles everything in cytoplasm.
Proliferation. During the first phase of interphase, a cell increases in size and makes the proteins and molecules necessary for the cell to function. Some organelles begin to duplicate.
Replication. To replicate itself, the DNA molecule unwinds and the steps of DNA ladder break apart. Base A will pair with base T and base G will pair with base C.
The DNA replicates, the cell continues to grow and is active, making materials such as proteins for the new cells that will be formed after cytokinesis. The chromatins, which contains the replicated DNA, is in its loosely coiled form. The DNA can copy into RNA so the proteins can be made in preparation for cell division. In addition, during the final phase, before cell division, organelles such as mitochondria and chloroplasts will be duplicated.
Early prophase. The replicated chromosomes coil up into X-shaped chromosomes and become visible under a light microscope. The nucleus will disappear and the nuclear membrane will begin to break down. In animal and plant cells, spindle fibers, which are tiny tube-like structures made of protein, begin to form. Spindle fibers stretch across the cell from centrioles are organelles that organize spindle fibers during mitosis. Metaphase. The tugging action of the spindle fibers pulls the X-shaped chromosomes into a single line across the middle, or equator, of the cell.
Anaphase. The spindle fibers begin to contract and shorten. The action pulls the centromere apart, allowing the sister chromatids to move to opposite poles of the cell. Once they separate, each sister chromatin is considered to be a chromosome. Telophase. In the final stage of mitosis, one complete set of chromosomes is now at each pole of the cell. The spindle fibers begin to disappear and a nuclear membrane forms around each set of chromosomes. A nucleus appears within each nucleus. Now there are two nuclei in one cell and the cell is ready to divide.
Cytokinesis is the final stage in the cell cycle. The cytokinesis separates the two nuclei into two daughter cells. These cells are identical to the original parent cell. The cell membrane pinches together to divide the cell's cytoplasm and organelles.